talk a little bit about some of the work that you were doing tonight? I mean, it looked like, as you've said, a little more situational. Kind of, are things installed at this point?
Yeah, I mean, we have the whole package on both sides of the ball installed, and you know, that's our progression in camp. Week 1 is we get things in, and then week 2 we start applying situational football, whether it's red zone, tight red zone, overtime, and tonight was a lot of end of game situations. That you've got to take everything that we've installed and then apply it to the situation. And so there was some great learning today. We had a receiver with 16 seconds left in the game catch an out route, and he turned back inside. And that's a redshirt freshman that's never played, and his instinct is to make a play. And it's great teaching and it's great learning, and you want to get those things corrected on the practice field so they don't happen during a game.
Will you talk a little bit about what you're still seeing from these guys? I mean, it looks like, well, let me just ask it this way: ahead of where you were last year?
Oh, it's
like night and day, right?
It's night and day. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot less basic how to line up and a lot more real teaching about this is the formation, these are the ways they attack you, and this is the situation, and this is what the goal is, and this is what the objective is. And the one thing we try to teach our players is you're never not just playing football. There's always a situation every snap of the game that you got to win, and that might affect the depth at which a secondary defender plays at, or the depth of a route has to go on offense. And those were not things that we were really able to get through last year because it was just so many guys playing for the first time. And I think now those guys can see from last year how those situations are really important to understand and to win.
Will you talk a little bit about your linebacker core? I mean, you have experienced guys all through your defense, but your linebackers are seniors, upperclassmen, starters. Just talk about what the expectation is for that group.
Oh, the expectation is they have great years. I mean, Dwayne Woods is a returning all-conference linebacker, and he's come to camp stronger than he's ever been in the best physical condition he's ever been in, with a great understanding of playing in our defense for 4 years. So you expect him to have his best year. Paul Swan's a returning starter who came back stronger and came back in the best shape of his career, and you expect him to have a better year. And then inside, the guy that's really had a very good camp for us is DJ Lynch. And so now you give yourself a great rotation in there that you can play 3 guys, and now we're trying to develop a 4th. And because DJ developed, it gives us a little bit of flexibility with some other players. And Gabe Martin's another guy that we can put in there and involve him in the defensive package in a lot of different ways.
And you've talked about stopping the run. That's been a point of emphasis. Can you talk a little bit about having those guys and their role in doing that?
Well, defending the run is really about 2 things. And one, it's about being physical up front, creating a new line of scrimmage, and forcing the back to cut before he gets to the line of scrimmage. But from the 2nd and 3rd levels, it's really understanding what your run fits are. In our defensive scheme, what gap are you responsible for? Where do you need to deliver the football to? And having trust that if a linebacker spills the ball, or if the linebacker inside shoulders the ball, that the defender that he's spilling it to or condensing it to is going to be there. Yeah, and there were times last year, I think the West Virginia game was a great example of, we had guys taking on things with the right gaps and in the right position and delivering the ball where they should, and the defender they were delivering it to didn't have the correct leverage. So defense is all about teaching angles and leverage. And, within all the different defenses you run, you tweak what leverage you play with, and you tweak where the support comes from. And again, I think our guys have a better understanding. It's just there's an accumulation of reps that players get after being in the program 1, 2, 3, 4 years.
Right.
And, that's why a lot of times you'll find senior and junior dominated teams in this conference win. And we're excited that we're finally getting to the point that we're becoming a more experienced team.
Basically excited that you're becoming one.